Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced early this morning that the United States will withdraw from a decades-old nuclear weapons deal with Russia.
For years, Russia has violated the terms of the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty without remorse.
The Treaty on Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces, or INF. Washington saying Russia is cheating.
Russia remains in material breach of its treaty obligations not to produce, possess, or flight test a ground-launched intermediate-range cruise missile system with a range between 500 and 5,500 kilometers.
This is the missile system that the U.S. says violates the INF, the nuclear-capable 9M729.
The Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, INF, signed by President Reagan and Soviet leader Gorbachev back in 1987, was designed to keep ground-based nuclear weapons out of Europe and to halt the Cold War arms race.
We have raised Russia's non-compliance with Russian officials, including at the highest levels of government, more than 30 times. Yet Russia continues to deny that its missile system is non-compliant and violates the treaty.
Moscow denies the allegations and claims the U.S. is the one breaching the deal.
Russia has implemented and continues to meticulously implement the requirements of the treaty and does not allow for any violations to happen.
Russia's violation puts millions of Europeans and Americans at greater risk. It aims to put the United States at a military disadvantage, and it undercuts the chances of moving our bilateral relationship in a better direction.
Says that there's no sense in the U.S. continuing to comply with the INF Treaty if Russia refuses to do so.
All 29 NATO allies that they agree that Russia is in material violation of the treaty. That is, this isn't a small around the margins problem. This is like high crimes and misdemeanors when they say material breach. And all 29 NATO allies signed up to that. It's a measure of both how serious Russia's continued violation of the treaty is.
In December, the U.S. declared that Russia was in material breach of this treaty, gave Russia 60 days to comply. There were some discussions between U.S. and Russian officials. They collapsed, and the U.S. says it's now suspending.
We provided Russia an ample window of time to mend its ways and for Russia to honor its commitment. Tomorrow that time runs out. Russia has refused to take any steps to return real and verifiable compliance over these 60 days. The United States will therefore suspend its obligations under the INF Treaty effective February 2nd.
Now, this suspension gives Russia 6 more months to comply with the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty before the U.S. formally withdraws. Officials expect Russia will refuse because Pompeo says for 6 years the U.S. has gone to what he says are tremendous lengths to preserve the INF Treaty and that Russia refuses to return to compliance.
Russia has jeopardized the United States' security interest, and we can no longer be restricted by the treaty while Russia shamelessly violates it.
Though my pronunciation may give you difficulty, the maxim is dovii no provii, trust but verify.
You repeat that at every meeting.